good morning. It is Saturday, 6th of February 2016, and this is Devaraja Mayuran with the news highlights of today's English dailies. As usual, let me start with Daily Mirror, whose headline says Magistrate wants medical report on Sicily Kottalavela. Court yesterday directed the Durden's hospital director to provide a detailed medical report by February 8 as to why Lalit Kottavala's wife Cicely, who faces charges of misappropriating Rs 4.3 billion at F&G property developers, should be treated at a private hospital and not at the Colombo National Hospital. The directive was issued by Colombo Chief Magistrate Jihan Pilapitiya under Section 124 of the Criminal Procedure Code in the wake of a motion filed by the CID. The magistrate also directed the hospital to submit a report on the history of the suspect's illness. Another news says UNHR chief to visit Jaffna, Tringo and Kandy. UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Zeid Ra'ad Al Hussein, who will begin a 4-day official visit to Sri Lanka on Saturday, is also scheduled to visit Jaffna, Trincomalee and Kandy, the UN office in Sri Lanka announced yesterday. He will meet President Maithripala Sirisena, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, Foreign Affairs Minister Mangala Samaravira, other ministers and high-level government officials. Another news says Indian fishermen destroying livelihood of Sri Lankan fishermen. Sri Lanka experts to obtain an undertaking from Indian Foreign Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj to ban bottom trawling by Indian fishermen in Sri Lanka's territorial waters, Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Development Ministry Mahinda Amaraveera said. He is expected to have a discussion with Ms. Swaraj, who arrived in Sri Lanka yesterday for a 2-day visit on poaching by South Indian fishermen in Sri Lanka's territorial waters, denying the northern Tamils of their livelihood. Another story says UNP SLFP agreed on UN resolution. Minister Mahinda Samarasinghe said the UNP and the SLFP were on the same wavelength with regard to the Geneva resolution on Sri Lanka. He said the government was confident that the Sri Lanka could convince UNHR High Commissioner Zeid Ra'ad Al Hussein that Sri Lanka was on the right track in addressing the concerns raised by the UNHR on human rights violations when he visits Sri Lanka today. With that story, let me move to the news highlights of today's daily news. Lanka against bottom trawling, says Minister. FM to give priority to this matter during talks with Indian counterpart. President and PM agreed not to allow bottom trawling. The Sri Lankan government will emphasize to Indian External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj that Sri Lanka in no way accepts bottom trawling by Indian fishermen in Sri Lankan waters, Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Development Minister Mahinda Amaraveera said. The news below it says Parliament introduces a Prime Minister's question time. Parliament has introduced a Prime Minister's question time to its agenda from the next sitting week to facilitate an opportunity for backbenchers to directly ask questions from the Prime Minister. Deputy Secretary General of Parliament Nail Iddavala told the Daily News yesterday that 4 members of Parliament would be allowed to ask 4 questions during the allocated time. Another news says warrants issued on SP Chief Minister repealed. Galle Magistrate Nilupuli Lankapura issued an order revoking the warrants issued on Southern Province Chief Minister Chan Vijayalal De Silva for not appearing in courts in respect of a case trialed before her on Monday and released him on a previous surety bail. The news below it says Mahinda Rajapaksa says freedom denied. Former President and Kurunegala District Parliamentarian Mahinda Rajapaksa said he has been denied his freedom and independence even on the country's 68th Independence Day. He said for the past 1 year he has been summoned before commissions of inquiry despite being a patron of SLFP, which is a coalition partner in the government. The news says constitutionality of Buddhist temporalities bill challenged in Supreme Court. 6 special determination petitions challenging the bill titled Buddhist temporalities were yesterday filed before the Supreme Court, pleading court to make a determination that clauses of the said bill are inconsistent with the constitution. With that story, let me move to the news highlights of today's Ceylon Today, whose headline writes, "Say to review UN recommendations." The UN High Commissioner of Human Rights, Said Raad Al Hussein, who will begin a 4-day official visit to Sri Lanka today at the invitation of the government, will discuss a range of current challenges and opportunities for strengthening the rule of law and enhancing respect for human rights in Sri Lanka, the UN office said. The news below it says, "Tamil national anthem, it touched my heart," says C.V. Vigneswaran. Singing the national anthem in Tamil at independence celebrations at Golface has tugged strongly at Northern Chief Minister Vigneswaran's heartstrings. So much so that it explicably led him to visit the Naga Vigaraya on the Independence Day. He visited the Naga Vigaraya in the Jaffna Peninsula on Independence Day to invoke blessings on the country, especially because the strains of the national anthem sung in Tamil at the Golface Independence Day celebrations after more than 5 decades wafted across the entire nation. While at the temple, he told the Tamil media that he welcomed the efforts taken by the government to sing the national anthem in Tamil too on Independence Day, and that it touched the hearts of all Tamils. And the news says, ex-Tigers sing Sinhala national anthem. In a strange and welcome change of the times, the national anthem was sung in Sinhala at the Independence Day celebrations staged by rehabilitated LTTE cadres at Klinochi, Paranthan. With that story, let me wind up today's news highlight. News like these and more will come on your way tomorrow too. Have a nice day. Goodbye.